No, we need more power. What are we going to do? Alright, I'm coming. Welcome to a Catafly Presents Nuclear Power Tour. So this is the electromagnetic control rod factory, capable of making 28 rods per minute. They are then transported across to the next factory, where they are combined with the extra ingredients to make the nuclear fuel rods. So here you can see it's quite organized. Logistics are either in the air or on the floor or under the floor. You can see that this factory is stalled at the moment. That's because I have the maximum amount of nuclear fuel rods I can produce made. We can see steel being produced here to make steel beams. We're making steel pipes there. I have beacons around to help me identify what's what and how many is being produced per minute. So we're making quick wire there, concrete it there, using the alternative quartz and concrete recipe. Have a run of smelters back here. They're making the copper and chyterium quick wire alternative recipe. It's just the quartz coming in, making silica. Just going upstairs. So this side we have some oil coming in and the overflow going to the resource sink. The oil is there to produce fuel for the truck that is bringing the quartz in. At the moment this is all stalled out because the truck isn't using enough fuel and the factory is also stalled. Once this factory fires up again, it will start producing more fuel. Okay, just more space there for further expansion in the future. This is just extra copper. All items come up here for storage once they're produced downstairs. So concrete, steel beams, quick wire, copper sheets, steel pipes. We'll just head up to the next floor. So it's pretty empty up here. This is all areas set aside for expansion in the future. I was going to use just some stratas here. I was going to use the alternative electromagnetic control rod recipe, but I decided against that once I had this factory completed. And that's why there's the extra space. So there's the control rods. They're all heading off down the conveyor belt to the next factory. And we have AI limiters. Enhanced industrial beams. So we have 8 constructors in total making the electromagnetic control rods. Sorry, not constructors, assemblers. So everything comes together up here and just downstairs there to make the electromagnetic control rods. This is also additional storage for the future. Just a view of the outside. So there we have all of the items coming in to produce aluminium. The train station. This train station brings in everything that's needed for this factory. So oil and petroleum coke come in here. More of the aluminium stuff heading out. It's just a back view of the factory. In this factory off to the side here is where I produce all the sulfur. So we have 2 rows of refineries, 4 in each, producing the liquid sulfur solution, just headed down the front for storage, and then piped off to the next factory for use in the production line. Again, these are stalled out as we have the maximum amount of nuclear fuel rods produced. And this is because I only have 6 of the 24 nuclear power stations running. Down here is the water being used for the sulfur solution. This is where the truck transports quartz in. Now I have the quartz running by belt at the moment because I seem to be stuck with a bug, which I'll show you shortly, where the truck station has got a grey light and the truck cannot pick up quartz because it's not being belted into the truck station. It's all connected with power, the belts are all connected, but the station just isn't functional. It's like it has no animation, it has no power, it's just a dead building. Even though it has power, it's got the belts, the truck goes there, it's just nothing is happening. So there's the truck, just driving along on its bridge. There's only 1 truck running along here at the moment. That's my first attempt at transporting items via vehicle. And here we are heading into the nuclear fuel rod factory. So we have crystal oscillators and beacons. They come in from another factory. This storage box is full of everything you need to survive radiation. There are several of these around the factory, just in case of emergency. So we have all the assemblers. We can see the uranium pellets there. And we have 2 refineries here at the moment making uranium pellets, combining it with sulfur. Solution here. And we have other machines here making the items that are needed to make an emergency cutoff. So these are all the buildings that make the extra items that are needed for the nuclear fuel rods. Deuterium, silica, I have 2 levels in this factory, just at the front, so that there's enough assemblies in place to make the nuclear fuel rods. And plenty of space there for expansion in the future, which I don't think I will need, seeing as I'm only using 6 of the 24 nuclear power stations. I absolutely love the nuclear fuel rods. I think they're very pretty, especially when they're in bulk. So this factory produces 24 nuclear fuel rods per minute, which is enough to run that nuclear power station at full capacity. Just a view of the top. We have glass foundations in to let the light come down through. Our train station bridge there. You can also run vehicles along that train bridge. There's a train on the top and a train on the bottom. And we just go into the nuclear power station itself. You can see all the nuclear fuel rods. Nice and pretty, glowing green. Okay, this is the bottom level of your nuclear power station, where the water and nuclear fuel rods come in and are split off and head to their own storage area. So we have nuclear fuel rods and water here. Every nuclear power station has an identical setup. Storage box, storage buffer. Each water storage is independently piped in from 3 water extractors each. The water extractors and water pumps right up to this point are independently powered by a external power station, so that if something happened to the main power grid, the water house would not be affected and would continue pumping water to this location. You can see the nuclear waste being belted away there. I'll take you to their storage shortly. It was my first attempt at making a round building, and I also tried to make a concept for nuclear waste. Just a hard drive deposit just there. It's empty now, thanks to the Fixmas update. As you can see, both sides are identical to each other. All pipes and belts are kept under the floor when they come in, just to help keep it nice and clean. And we'll just head upstairs. So upstairs, as I said, there are 24 nuclear power stations, and another box just there for emergency supplies. All rows here are again identical to each other. Just another view of the bridge there. Just a moving profile view of the power station. And they are all identical to each other. And color-coded, as you can see. Yellow is the nuclear waste going out. Green is a nuclear fuel rod going in. And you can also see the pipes for the water as well. just a long view down there, that's the water house with its independent power station, which we will head there. Now, I have not done any pipe upgrading for update 3.5.6-ish. I didn't see a need to, as it's all piped, it's working. Maybe in the future, if I need to do some work to reduce the amount of objects in the game, but with newer updates coming and then working on reducing the amount of objects, I shouldn't need to. So this is the independent power station. It provides enough power for the water house and the water pumps to get the water to the nuclear power station. I find it quite funny really, seeing as we need a power station and multiple factories just to produce the nuclear fuel rods for the nuclear power station to power our world. This is the train just bringing in the oil. I'm using the normal and impure oil nodes in the canyon near the desert to produce the fuel here. As you can see, it's currently sitting idle as there is no water in use except for the 6, so this will just on occasion start making new fuel. Just back up into the power. Each row are identical again. I did think about making this turbo fuel, but then decided against it. And this is just the water house. Now I haven't really finished down here. It should have walls, catwalks and everything down here, but it took me 3 months to build this nuclear facility, and I was a bit over it, so I thought I'd come back to it in the future, and just haven't gotten here yet. So it's 3 water extractors to 1 nuclear power station. Of course, with the Mark II pipes now, this can be changed, and you can overclock a water extractor to use less pipes and less water extractors to provide water. So that's just the tower going up with all the pipes connected and pumps getting the water up, as you can see. And this is just the belt coming out of the nuclear power station, running the nuclear waste off to its storage facility. There it goes. Now I did think about building a train or a belt to bring all the nuclear waste over here for storage that my Dargos give me from time to time, but considering that's on the other side of the world, that would actually be quite an effort. And honestly, I don't check my Dargos that often, so it's really not worth it. Just a view here of the catwalk belts on their bridges heading to the nuclear power station factories and to the nuclear waste for storage facility. All these towers are identical. And as you can see there, a nice view of my concept of a nuclear waste barrel. I haven't finished it. I'm having a bit of difficulty without mods at dressing it up. I thought it was appropriate to have a giant nuclear waste silo holding all the nuclear waste. It has an input and an output. I thought at the time, I'm going to make an output just in case there is a use for nuclear waste in the future. And if you've seen any of the videos for the next upcoming update, we will be making plutonium, which could very well use the nuclear waste. So another emergency box there, catwalk to walk up and down. We'll just head in. I will show you roughly what it looks like. I'll go up over the top. I haven't yet come back here to make it so that you can get into the center without climbing up the storage boxes. But as you can see, the nuclear waste moves around from row to row until it finally hits its final destination in the storage box. So just a view from the top, you can see a smart splitter there with nuclear waste on it. That's for the output. When the time comes, I will come back here and I will turn on the smart splitter, allowing the nuclear waste to flow out of the facility. So this facility can hold just over 1.5 million units of nuclear waste. It took me quite a long time to build. As I said in previous videos, I don't use mods except for filming for YouTube. It was a mammoth project and I got so bored of it so many times, but persisted until it was finished. So you can see it's quite functional, works well. Really speaking, I should never ever have to go in there except for to turn the smart splitter on. And that's why I have it over here on the rock away from everything, because if I load this up into the Satisfactory calculator, the whole area is extremely radioactive. One, because of the amount of nuclear fuel rods that are sitting there in storage, and the nuclear waste themselves, plus the nuclear power stations. So as you can see, another train on the bridge there, just cruising along. I absolutely love trains in this game. I quite often will sit there on my train network bridge, just listening to the trains go by, and I love it when they all go by at the same time. I just wish that you could set it so that it would randomly blow the horn, or you could set certain points where it would blow the horn, i.e. going through a tunnel or just about to cross a bridge, just as they do in real life to warn anybody that may be in the tunnel or on the bridge, doing bridge work or tunnel work. There's the oil train heading to the power station. You can see a train underneath there. And the train will run across the top. The train along the bottom is just bringing in raw ingredients in from the desert for use in the factories. And you can see more belt work there, just as we pass across the train bridge. We are now heading towards the quartz truck depot, and I will show you the bug I am having. I don't know if this bug will be fixed in update 4 or not. I'm hoping so. I've tried rebuilding these, I've scrapped the whole thing, I've rebuilt it, redone the trucks, nothing will work. So as you can see, there is no power indicator on the truck station. It's grey. This one's not belted in at the moment because I had been trying to rebuild it, but when I realized it wasn't working, I just didn't. As you can see, the quartz belted in. It's not filling up. I can guarantee you the storage box is empty. And it just sits there grey with power connected. As you can see there, that miner is using the same power source. The truck will stop but there's nothing there for it to pick up because it's just not going in. It's like, but as you can see, the power cable isn't really connected. It's a little bit weird. I don't know if that's a bug. I haven't noticed the power cable not being connected on other buildings, and I'm not sure if that's it. I did report this on the website, but nobody's ever gotten to it. So I don't know if it's something that they're trying to work on or will be done in the next update. But now that I filmed this video, I could update the ticket and indicate the time of the video. That train there that's just going past, that's my aluminium train, which you will see in a future video. And just to the left there, you can see my main train bridge network. We are also giving you a view of the train bridge for all the trains that run into the nuclear power station from this side, and any vehicles in the future, or if you want to drive there yourself, you can. This bridge is the reason why it took me just over 3 months to build this facility. It took me forever, and I was so tempted to use the area action mod. Nope. I persisted, and I'm so satisfied that I did. This is the type of bridge pattern I use throughout my world, except for here, where the main train bridge network comes in. As you can see, I have power towers on top. This will enable me to be able to control the power for any factory on my planet from my main factory hub. Once this is completed, all power will run along these power lines, and I'll be able to disconnect the power from in the power hub area for any factory I need to for any reason. Let's say I'm using too much power. I can just cut one factory off to get it going again, and then I can do something about fixing the power issues. Just a bit out of alignment there, I need to fix that. Oh, and here too. This train station I have built with further usage in mind. Only one train station is in use at the moment. Again, taking all the raw materials to the nuclear facility. And we just move along the back here, you'll see the bridge continues. This bridge is also supporting the belts coming in from the desert. You can see the train going along in the distance. You can see that all the belts are on foundations. It's just to keep them nice and straight. I try to do this with all my belts in the world. Helps keep it organized and you know where everything is. As you can see here, these two belts are not in use. I'm not sure if that's a mistake I've made, or I just don't need those items right now, so I just left them there. It's been a long time since I built this area, so I just cannot remember why they're there. I'm sure I'll find out. We just continue along the bridge. We have titanium, copper and iron. Again, the train in the middle, and you can drive vehicles on both sides of the bridge. Unfortunately, you can't swap to the other side until you get back to the factory. I haven't built the on and off ramps yet. Just haven't had a need to. I definitely plan to. It's on my list of ever-growing things to finish in this world. The building ahead is a coal power station, which independently powers the factory here in the desert. Again, so nothing gets upset and the power doesn't get cut, producing items needed for the nuclear facility. I'll give you a view now of the coal power station. There's an area at the front to park a vehicle. I think the truck that I was using for construction is actually still here. Yep. Each building and factory in the world has a crafting station and a workbench. So here we are. It's a coal power station that runs the factory in the desert. And this is the factory producing items needed for the nuclear setup. So it's making crystal oscillators and beacons. It's a little bit different to all my other factory setups in design. I built it so that it could be expanded upon. Belts can be brought up all 4 legs, with a center section with stairs so that you can climb up and down. I haven't finished work out here, as I plan for it to be expanded upon once update 4 comes out, as this will be where my main desert factory will be. So we can see there beacons and oscillators coming. So this factory produces all the beacons and crystal oscillators that are needed in order to make the 24 nuclear fuel rods per minute. It's the same sort of setup as the factory at the nuclear power station. All the items needed are produced at the back and then are belted to the manufacturers at the front here, and there's manufacturers on the 2nd floor. So I'm using the alternative recipe for iron wire here. The ingots go around on a loop. All of the wire is belted up to the second floor for storage. Here's a view of the other side of the iron. Now there are more iron ingots being produced per minute than are needed. That's how this loop system works, allowing the final constructor in the loop to receive iron ingots. Otherwise, if it only made what was needed by the time it went through all the splitters, the last machine wouldn't receive anything. So this is a view of one of the legs on the side. Plenty more room for belts to come up. This is the second floor, where other items are produced. There's also storage, and everything is belted up and connected together for use downstairs. And also the train station to take the beacons and crystal oscillators back to the nucleus. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get further updates on future videos. Until next time, I'll see you later.